Hi. So I'm trying to do my choice book, The Killer's Tears, and I've done this like a million times, but this kid won't leave me alone.
I
So
only interrupted her once.
about five. Okay.
Goodbye,
So
world. Goodbye.
you leave. Okay. So this is my choice book, The Killer's Tears, by Anne Laurie Von Dokes, and I want to give you guys some background information on it really quick so you guys can understand my quotes a little. And okay, so there's Angel, who is the murderer in this book, and he's the main character. And basically, like, he lands on this farm and kills this child's parents. And he kind of takes the child underneath his wing, and the child's name is Pueblo. So the first quote I have for you is in chapter 2, and it says, this is talking about Angel, actually, when he was young. So it says, when young, he had seen his father die. As for his mother, he had hardly known her. Early on, he had learned to fend for himself, following harsh rules of the street to survive. So when I first got this quote, or when I read it, I thought the father got murdered. So she did a really good job with explaining it because my next quote is going to tell you what the father did. So I think that's very important too. Um, but then, okay, so I'm in law enforcement classes, and in juvenile justice, we talk about risk factors for juveniles, and obviously they start out young. So I think the fact that he didn't have the mother in the situation at all, his father died, and I thought he was murdered. So I thought he actually witnessed a murder, and then the fact that he didn't even get raised up or grow up with another set of parents. He just fended for himself, and he was on the streets, and so he had to learn to survive. Obviously, stealing, killing. That's what he did a lot. So I thought that was very significant because I think just that he just thought that was the only lifestyle he could have in order to survive for himself. So that was about Angel, and I think that was very important. That was in the beginning of the book. Alright, this next quote is on page 68. It says, when he woke up, Angel noticed that Pueblo was no longer in the bed, and it was he who felt totally abandoned. He opened the tap of the sink, splashed water over his face, and looked at himself in the rust-spotted mirror. Did he deserve to live? He wondered. He was going to be 37, the very age his father had been when he died of tuberculosis. Angel put a hand on his chest. Weren't his lungs on fire too? Wouldn't it be fair if he died, even if his death was not average to all those that he had killed? Tuberculosis was a filthy disease. He had been 5 when his father had convulsed with pain and spat up black blood. Ever since, the smell of blood has stayed with him. So, I think that this is very significant because when he took Pueblo underneath his wing, basically as his own son, because literally, the son's calling him dad and stuff throughout the book because the son was too young to realize, hey, this guy murdered my parents, and that's bad. So, he looks up to Angel as his own dad, and, well, there's this other quote too, but I'm not going to do that quote, but, he, or Pueblo says that he was reborn the day that his parents had died. So, I think that's what kind of made Angel spare Pueblo, and just the fact that Pueblo is really just changing Angel's life, and he knows that he's killed so many people and done so much wrong that he doesn't even think he should live, and just the fact that the blood has always stayed with him, I think is significant as well because I think when he kills, maybe that might bring up the memory of his father. I could be wrong, but that's my interpretation of it. Yeah, so I think that was very significant because that's kind of like a changing point for him, honestly, that quote. Alright, so the next quote I'm going to read, this is where the book gets really good. It's near the end, obviously. It's on page 140, and this is actually from Pueblo's point of view, so the son. It says, and so it was that the 4 men mandated by the authorities destroyed the shaky happiness that a child thought was his. They had shown that they were powerful, more powerful than the yellow sweet. For them, the day was an achievement. So, Angel got arrested by the police, obviously, and once that he was like he's been wanted throughout this entire book. So once he's arrested, like they know, or he knows that he's never gonna see Angel again, and he knows he's gonna have to go to either an orphanage or just something because he doesn't have parents anymore. So he thought that he was happy. Like I liked how he said shaky happiness because it was on and off. Like they just both of them just went on this journey together, and it was always up and down. They were always like walking on eggshells because there was wanted posters for Angel everywhere, and so yeah, I think that was very significant because Pueblo just didn't know what he was gonna do. So yeah, but this was a really good book. So it was very quick to read. Trust me, I don't read much, but this is very good, and you can get through it really fast. So I won't tell you guys the ending. So go read it. It was good.